What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So with all that happened in the NBA yesterday, the Lakers beating the Bucks, we had Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz win their 7th straight in a row, and then we had Shaq asking him a weird question on TNT, which was just very cringy if you ask me. We also had a trade of Kevin Porter Jr. being sent to the Houston Rockets. So yeah, I've done a lot of Rockets rebuilds, I feel, as of late, but they've been making some moves. So yeah, we're back again doing a Rockets rebuild. So before we get in this video, guys, make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. And YouTube actually tells me that 60% of you actually watching this video right now aren't even subbed. So if you want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, it is completely free, completely up to you. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Houston Rockets again. If you weren't aware, the Rockets have been making some trades as of late, obviously. They traded Russell Westbrook for John Wall, then they traded James Harden to the Nets, and then yesterday we got the trade. They got Kevin Porter Jr. So something happened in Cleveland with Kevin Porter Jr. They took his locker or something like that, and then he started throwing food. I don't know, something like that. It was a little weird, and Kevin Porter, obviously, his time in Cleveland just came to an end. So now here he is in Houston. Houston literally sent a future protected second-round pick for Kevin Porter. So this is a W. This is a W for the Rockets. Cleveland, I mean, it seemed like the chemistry there was tarnished anyway, so I guess you got a second for him, whatever. But I feel like Kevin Porter could still be a very, very good player, so I love this move. It is very high risk, low risk, high reward. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. So Christian Wood's been balling for the Rockets as of late, obviously. This Rockets team is interesting, but at least they have some pieces going forward now. With like Kevin Porter, you got Christian Wood. And they also cut Chris Clemens yesterday. I feel bad for him because he did tear his ACL or something like that before the season even started. But looking at this rotation now, when you actually look at it, all right, let's fix that. All right, so we got John Wall, Oladipo in. Sterling Brown to small forward, Christian Wood, Cousins. So they apparently want to start Christian Wood and DeMarcus Cousins together. But what I want to do, since the man is kind of the title of the video anyway, we might as well just have him start. So what I'm going to do is actually, Daniel House might be a better overall than him. Let's see if that's the case. No, 74 overall, and then Kevin Porter's a 75. So I'm going to go ahead and force Sterling Brown as a non-starter. That way, Kevin Porter Jr. will get the starting minutes, and we'll kind of see what he can do in Houston. I'm not really sure what his role is going to be. The Rockets obviously have a plan for him, and I feel like he could be solid there, like I said. So that is kind of what we're going to do here. We're going to try to make Kevin Porter as solid as possible. Might even force his shot tendency up a little bit. I don't know what it's at right now. I believe it's not bad, though. So Kevin Porter at the small forward, and then Christian Wood apparently wants to start as well with Cousins. So you know what? We'll move Christian Wood to the 4. He's an 87 overall, so why not? So looking at some shot tendencies real quick, though, because Christian Wood's shot tendency is still very low. 2K definitely needs to fix that. So I'm going to move this up because Christian Wood's been taking some more shots and he's been balling. So, and then Kevin Porter's is at a measly 60. So I'm going to go ahead and boost that up a little bit, too, to like a 76, something like that. And we'll roll with that. So that is going to be our full... we're going to run a 9-man rotation. So let's run a 9-man rotation. And so we got John Wall, Oladipo, Kevin Porter, Christian Wood, Cousins for the season, Eric Gordon off the bench, Sterling Brown, PJ Tucker, Ben McLemore. So I think PJ Tucker's time in Houston is definitely up this season. So we might end up trading him probably right now. Let's just go ahead and just get it out of the way. So I would prefer like a first round, or not a first round pick, but like a second if I could, for a guy like PJ Tucker, or just something that would definitely help us out for our future. Because, you know, he is 35, but he's definitely still a capable 3-and-D wing player that I'm sure a contending team would definitely like to have. So the best trade I saw, I think, was from the Hornets, where we get a young 19-year-old center. So sure, why not? Let's do this trade and we'll roll with it. So that is going to be the final thing I do before we start the season, and we're going to just go ahead and simulate the rest of the season, see how things turn out. Hopefully there's definitely a possibility we're a playoff team this season, because I remember my last Rockets rebuild, I expected us to suck in the season, number 1, but we were actually really good. So also, I got to make a decision on Oladipo, what I'm going to do with him. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and just simulate this first season. Trade deadline, we're 25-28. And right now, we're not a playoff team. So I kind of want to take advantage of that at the trade deadline. Get some of these pieces out of here for some potential picks. Because the Rockets just traded for a 20-year-old. Makes me think they are definitely in the approach of a rebuild, obviously. Which they definitely still have a very interesting team on paper. But we're still approaching a rebuild. So Cousins, John Wall, Oladipo. John Wall won't expire in the offseason, so he'll probably stick around for now. But Cousins expires, and so does Oladipo. So I feel like I should be able to maybe make something happen here. So if I threw Oladipo right now into the win, like, I don't know what I'm going to get for him, but he's averaging a solid 15 points per game right now. So maybe a contending team like the Miami Heat would want him, because I feel like Miami's been in the rumors quite a bit for Oladipo in the running. We got Andre Drummond being offered to us, Mark Smart, Tristan Thompson, Winslow and Kyle Anderson. A 24-year-old Winslow is actually interesting, I'm not going to lie. But Clint Capella from the Hawks. And then the Miami Heat want to give me Ricky Rubio and Precious. Okay, so we get a nice center. I know Precious can be very good in this game. And we also get Ricky Rubio, who is under contract for 2 years, but will be expiring in the offseason. So we could definitely take care of that. Terry Rozier, also an interesting piece to the puzzle. Mitchell Robinson and Alfred Payton. If the Knicks wanted to go all in and grab Oladipo, we get a 22-year-old center. That could actually be somewhat interesting. Tim Hardaway and a first-round pick. Tim Hardaway would expire in the offseason, and we get a first-round pick. So that actually sounds very enticing as well. So there's definitely some offers on the table that I would love to take to grab. Dort is awesome as well, but I don't see the Thunder trading him. So I'm definitely considering this Precious trade. Like, we do get a solid center, and then I'm considering the Knicks trade, but I think the last time we did a Rockets rebuild, I got Mitchell Robinson. So I think I'm gonna do this one because this gives us at least a first-round pick, and Tim Hardaway will just walk in the offseason. So we'll be acquiring yet another first-round pick. So we'll go ahead and do this. Yeah, the pick won't be fantastic or anything, but at least we get a pick for Oladipo. So I like that trade. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually throw Eric Gordon and DeMarcus Cousins together. So DeMarcus Cousins expiring. Eric Gordon has a large contract, so maybe we can entice somebody to take Eric Gordon on if Cousins is there as well. I don't know. It'll have to be like a really desperate contending team that wants pieces. It's not going to be easy. Drew Holiday's on a one-year deal for Milwaukee. I guess if Milwaukee was nervous at all, if Drew Holiday was going to decline his player option, maybe they'd do something like that, but I don't think that's definitely a possibility. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers wanting to give you Jarrett Allen. You got Marcus Smart, Daniel Tyus, Clippers, Ivica Zubac, and Luke Kennard. Actually, somewhat of an interesting trade. We get two 24-year-olds. I don't hate it, and the Clippers are a contending team, so I guess if there was a trade that maybe makes sense, this could be one, so maybe we'll come back to that for realism. And then we got the same offer from earlier, the Miami Heat, another contending team, maybe wanting to take on guys like Cousins and Eric Gordon. So I'll definitely come back to that one as well. And then the Mitchell Robinson one again pops up. Miles Turner, Kerr Lewis Jr., and JJ Redick from the Pelicans. Derrick Rose, Patty Mills. So I think I'm definitely considering either, obviously, the Clippers trade or the Miami Heat trade. So would I rather have Zubac and Luke Kennard, or would I rather have Precious, basically? So I know Precious can be really good. I'm definitely Ricky Rubio is under contract for 2 years. So is Luke Kennard, but Luke Kennard is a young player that could definitely fit here right away. Okay, let me think about this for a second. And Luke Kennard, that's just two 24-year-olds that kind of fit the timeline of the team right now. So yeah, we get two young players for veterans that we don't really need for the future. So yeah, sure, why not? We'll do that. So just like that, we have definitely changed the roster quite a bit. So Ben McLemore would be starting at shooting guard right now. And then they got Tim Hardaway starting at small forward, which I don't really want to do. I'm going to move Tim Hardaway to shooting guard where he belongs. And then the other thing, so Kevin Porter is back to starting, which we want. John Wall, Tim Hardaway, Kevin Porter, Christian Wood. You got Ivica Zubac now, Sterling Brown, Luke Kennard, Daniel House. So yeah, there's a lot going on here, obviously, but we are going to continue to change things in the offseason. So we're just going to go ahead and keep simulating. So we got two young pieces at trade deadline, and we got a first-round pick. So we're continuing to acquire future assets, which I like. So let's go ahead and keep simulating, and let's see how we finish out the season. So we were a lottery team, which is exactly what I wanted, and Christian Wood put up good numbers and won most improved player. So it's, for me, a very successful season. We were able to acquire assets. We're kind of moving forward with the rebuild. Christian Wood had a fantastic year, so we're going to continue to build off that. So I'm very excited as the Lakers win the championship. So going into the offseason now, we definitely want to make some interesting things happen here. So starting with the lottery, we obviously want to acquire a very high draft pick if possible. We are projected number 4 via the Detroit Pistons. So I'm not really sure if our pick is protected here. I hope it is. Yeah, so I'm a little nervous. So let's see if we stay within the top 5 and we actually fall. And the Pistons got number 1 pick, I assume, from us, right? Is that what just happened? That's probably what just happened, huh? Oh, no, that's not good. I don't know what the protections were. Yeah, we don't have our first round pick. So, okay, so there was maybe there wasn't any protections on it at all. So we do not have our first round pick, which is honestly an absolute disaster. So yeah, I'm a little nervous now. So not having our first round pick is definitely not ideal, but it is what it is. So yeah, it definitely would have been nice to be able to draft a young player here. So, but looking at my future draft pick situation, we do have a second rounder here. We have 4 first round picks now in next year's draft from the Pistons, and then the Nets, and then the Rockets and the Mavericks. So yeah, actually 5. We have 5 first round picks in next year's draft. So I mean, this year, it's fine. We're not going to have a pick. We can't draft anybody. It is what it is. It is a little bit of an L, but it's fine. We'll deal with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign a trainer, even though there wasn't anybody that good. So I'm gonna fire my assistant coaches. Jeff Hornacek, I'll leave him for now. That's fine. And then we'll hire Trent Peterson as well. So sign him up. If I could extend Steven, I would. But let's go to the draft. So we do have a second rounder, though. I don't really think that'll get us much of anything. And then as far as the trade fighter is concerned, the goal is to get rid of John Wall this offseason if possible. I'm not really sure what that would entail. If we could grab the Grizzlies, if we could grab something, I don't know. We'll see what we can come up with. The Knicks want to give me Emmanuel quickly. Pascal Siakam, DeJounte Murray, 24-year-old point guard. Thunder want to give me the 13th pick and Al Horford. That's interesting for sure. But I don't really, well, and I don't know why the Thunder would want John Wall, to be honest with you. And plus trade a first-round pick. And then the Spurs, interested in giving DeJounte Murray and Jakob Poeltl. But what pick are we trading here? What pick is this? The Houston's unprotected. I don't know if I want to do that. So I'll probably wait till after the draft. Maybe make something happen after the draft, and we'll deal with it there. So Jayshawn Tate and Rodions Karooks, welcome. And then rookie signing, we got Al Williamson in the second round, who was a 7-3 overall point guard. I wouldn't mind signing him, but they declined him. So, all right, free agency is ahead of us now. So looking at the roster on paper right now, I got John Wall at the point guard still. No shooting guard. Kevin Porter, Luke Kennard, Daniel House, and Kenyon Martin. So we don't really want Daniel House, honestly, anymore. So Luke Kennard off the bench is great. Christian Wood, Jayshawn Tate, and Zubac and Vernon Carey. So I think next trade I want to do is get rid of Daniel House. He's served his duties here in Houston, but we don't really need you anymore. So the Bucks want to give me Jordan Nwora and a second rounder. That's definitely a trade I would love to have. The Thunder first round pick. I don't think Daniel House is worth the first, so I'm not going to do anything like that. The Miami Heat want to give me a first. The Hawks want to give me a first. I think the most realistic trade is probably going to be that first one. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. We get a second for Daniel House and a young player. So not complaining whatsoever. So now, as far as the offseason is concerned, we definitely have some cap space with, John Wall is definitely taking up some of our cap space, but we can make something happier. So we need like a shooting guard. Is there anybody out here that may be worth taking a flyer on? So let's go. Let's just see what we got. So as far as young players, John Collins was clearly unhappy in Atlanta, and maybe we could sweep in and sign John Collins and form a front court of John Collins and Christian Wood. That could be interesting. Both can space the floor defensively. They're not both there all that much, but it would be fun if we moved Christian Wood back to center. So I definitely am considering it. I'm not going to lie. Then you got Lauri Markkanen, which is another interesting pairing. Jarrett Allen. You got Rashawn Holmes. So I feel like the only guy I'm really interested in this offseason would be, and you got Lonzo Ball, Schroeder. So yeah, I feel like Gary Trent Jr. is out here as well. But yeah, John Collins, if I could form that front court, if we actually don't have enough. Okay, never mind. We don't even have enough cap space. So I thought we would, but we do not. So John Wall might have to go now if you want the money. Luke Kennard's making a little bit of money. So John Wall, I'm sorry, man, but it is time. You paid your dues. I'm sorry. We got to trade you somewhere else. I don't know who's going to want you, but you just can't stay here. So Mitch Robinson from the Knicks, Blake Griffin, and a first-round pick from the Pistons. So the Pistons maybe get weird here and give us a first for John Wall. And then you got DeJounte Murray, Derek White, Chris Paul from the Suns, and a first, and then the Timberwolves. Okay, I think I'm going to do that Pistons trade. We are taking Blake Griffin, but he's going to expire anyway, I think. So yeah, and we got a first-round pick, and the Pistons get John Wall for whatever reason. So yeah, let's do that. So John Wall, and then John Wall can play with Jeremy Grant or something like that if the Pistons were interested. And maybe they just want to get rid of Blake Griffin that bad. So yeah, I'll go ahead and grab Blake Griffin and that should free up some money for me to sign a guy like John Collins. It still does not, so we still don't have enough. Okay, I thought we would, but we still don't. So now the only thing I can do, can't really do much of anything. So I'm surprised I can't offer John Collins a contract, but it is what it is. So let's go to the affordable section, I guess. Markkanen, I guess we could sign like Lauri. Why does it say I can't afford these guys? I don't know if I'm going to get John Collins here, though. And actually, we do get John Collins. So just like that, we escape with John Collins in the offseason. So the Rockets, we take a chance on John Collins, and the Hawks don't match, which would kind of make sense. But we don't really have a front court right now. So yeah, we have a lot at the power forward right now. But we are going to move Christian Wood back to center. So let's move Christian Wood back to center where he belongs. So now we'll have a front court of John Collins and Christian Wood, and then Zubac backing him up, and then we'll have Blake Griffin off the bench, I guess, as well. And we have literally nobody in the backcourt right now. As of right now, we have literally no one. So we need to sign a couple of players to just come in and play maybe a little bit. could give Alex Caruso a flyer. Let's give him, why not? Let's give him a 2-year deal. Maybe he comes to Houston, becomes a beast for us, and then we could just sign Tim Hardaway back to a 1-year deal or something. Maybe trade him at the trade deadline. He wants to be decent for us. Why not? So, yeah, we're still looking for our point guard, our backcourt of the future, but we have definitely our front court right now. So, John Collins, Christian Wood, I definitely love that. So, we're going to go ahead, though, and simulate to the second season. See how things go. We're probably not going to be very good still, but this next year's draft should help us out a ton. I've actually fought for a playoff spot in the West. We're the 7th seed, 42-40, so I'm already proud of this team. We obviously still don't really have a lot of pieces and areas figured out, but Christian Wood with 23 points and Kevin Porter with a nice 18 as well. So Blake Griffin had 16. John Collins with 14.5, Tim Hardaway with 14. So another interesting team, but we're still, like I said, on track to continue this rebuild. We're not obviously still a team that, like, there's still a lot of pieces here that we don't want to see for the foreseeable future, like Blake Griffin, Tim Hardaway, and guys like that we don't really want to be here. So we're just gonna simulate these playoffs, though. We should not. I don't think we're gonna win a championship here or anything. But we almost make it out of the first round, which is really dope. So, although the Charlotte Hornets go on to win the championship behind LaMelo Ball's play. So now, with this draft lottery coming up, this is super important. Like I said, we have 5 first-round picks here. So at least one of these picks should be in the lottery. I'd like to think. At least one of them. Come on. At least one of them, bro. So let's go to the draft lottery, and let's see what's happening. So, we are projected a top 3 pick. So, we also projected the 14th pick via the Bucks. So, that is super ideal. So, can we stay in the top 3? And, of course, we drop down to number 4, which is fine. We could still get a very solid player. We also have the 14th pick, the 17th pick, the 21st pick, and the 29th pick. So we have a lot of picks here, which is super important to definitely make something happen in this offseason. So for the assistant coaching job, I'm going to grab Ryan Williams here. And then, all right, on to the draft. So as far as what I need, I definitely need backcourt players. That is like 1,000% a need. So do I have anybody that I'm like really wanting? I know I got Kenny Chandler in the last Rockets rebuild, which he was awesome. Caleb Love, Jaden Hardy. So maybe I'll just wait to see who drops to me. Patrick Baldwin. So I kind of need a point guard and a shooting guard out of this draft, to be honest with you. So if I could trade up into the lottery twice, so I can maybe keep number 4 and then trade my picks to maybe move up to top 5 again. I don't know about the top 5, but maybe like number 7 or number 6 or something along the lines of that. Would the Kings give me number 3 potentially for like 14, 17, and okay, they want my, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'll give you also maybe 21 as well. Come on, all that, and they want my first round pick still, which I'm definitely not doing. And then is there anyone under contract I might have of their interest? Luke Kennard is here. Maybe we give that Alex Caruso. You want Caruso? They still don't agree. What about Luke Kennard? You want Luke Kennard? I wouldn't mind keeping Luke Kennard around, but they still don't agree, and also give you 29. And they agree. So we move on, or we move up, and we have 3 and 4 in this draft. So let's go see what we can grab at number 3 and number 4. So we're going to definitely take a backcourt here. That way they can grow together. So we got Jaden Hardy, and we have Caleb Love. So that's probably who our 2 picks are going to be. So Jaden Hardy, we're taking you. And then let's take, actually, our pick is next. So Jaden Hardy with the 3rd pick, and now we'll be taking Caleb Love. And we just drafted our backcourt of the future, hopefully. So awesome, awesome, awesome. It's not very often you get your backcourt in the same draft, I feel like. Not very often. All right, so now we will be taking Caleb Love. So Caleb Love and Jaden Hardy, welcome to the Houston Rockets. They are both a 78 and a 74. So that is a little unfortunate. I thought Caleb Love would be better, but it is what it is. Kenny Chandler went number 2. So definitely Jaden Hardy and Kenny Chandler backcourt would have been better. But, and then we got Adrian Griffin as well. So, yeah, it's all right. So, rookie signing, we'll sign both of them. And then player options, Porter, Zubac, and Jashawn Tate, welcome back. And qualifying offers, John Noora and Mason Jones. And now on to free agency. So, when you look at the team now, we have Alex Caruso and Caleb Love. We have Jaden Hardy, the shooting guard, Kevin Porter at the 3, John Collins, Jashawn Tate, and then we have Christian Wood, Zubac. So, our front court is ultimately solved. And then our point guard, shooting guard spot maybe could use some work. So, free agents, we're not signing Blake Griffin back or anything. Luka Doncic, we almost have enough money for. If I wanted to just go all out and sign a guy like Luka, get a young player here, Trae Young, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Michael Porter Jr., what do we got? Kemba Walker, Russell Westbrook, Colin Sexton, if we want to do something like that. But I think I just want to see how my team's going to do as it is built now. We just made the playoffs, so we need a backup wing player, and I think I'm ready to roll for the season. So I don't want to sign anyone crazy. I'm just going to sign someone who can be somewhat interesting for us, be a nice bench piece. Got Bledsoe, who's been absolutely interesting this season. Gary Harris, 28 years old. Troy Brown Jr. 16 million. Alec Burks 9 million. Malik Monk, Kelly Oubre, Grayson Allen, Kendrick Nunn, Elijah Hughes, Trey Burke. I guess we can sign Trey Burke to a 2-year deal. Just somebody. We just need some kind of depth off the bench. So Trey Burke, welcome to Houston, and that will be all. That'll be all. So let's go ahead and go into this next season. Caleb Love, Kevin Porter, John Collins, Christian Wood. Definitely starting, like I said, to shape into the rebuilding team that we want. So Christian Wood's up to a 90, Collins 86, Kevin Porter 83, and Zubac an 81. So let's go ahead, go into this next season, and let's just hope for all the best. So at the end of season number 3 or 4, I don't remember now, we are actually the 4th seed in the West. Joel Embiid, MVP numbers, Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year, Precious, 6th man, Jonathan Isaac, Defensive Player, Jalen Green, Most Improved, and Brad Stevens, Coach of the Year, and Jordan Hobson, Executive. Okay, so I'll be a first team, Joel Embiid. We don't have Christian Wood making it, do we? We do not. It doesn't look like. Okay, so, other than that, I think the only thing I want to look at is all rookie teams. We got Jaden Hardy making it, and we also have Caleb Love making it. So awesome. And you look at the player stats right now. We had 23 from Christian Wood, 22 from Kevin Porter, 20 from Jaden Hardy, and he had 16 from John Collins, 14 and 6 from Caleb Love. So this team just worked well together. I'm definitely happy with it. Kevin Porter is actually a beast in this game as well. So, I mean, the Rockets, if Kevin Porter turns out like this, the Rockets just made a W trade. I mean, you traded a 2nd round pick, a protected one at that, for Kevin Porter. So we are playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. If we can win a playoff series here, I'll be extremely happy. Let's see what happens. So simulate game 1. Actually, we win it. So game 2 goes to us as well. Game 3 goes to us. And can we sweep them? Okay, we absolutely sweep the Minnesota Timberwolves. And now we're going on to play the Clippers, who actually upset the Dallas Mavericks. Wow. Okay, so Suggs, Paul George, Kawhi, Marcus Morris, Derek Favors, Kyle Kuzma, Davis Bertans. So definitely a good roster. We won game 1 though. They even it up. We're up 2-1. 2-2. Come on, 3-2 lead here. Let's go. Beat them in 6. No, game 7. Let's him cast this for sure. Back in Houston, game 7. Let's go. We beat Kawhi and Paul George. We're in the Western Conference Finals, which is something I definitely didn't expect to happen this season. And we absolutely blow them out. Let's go. 105-138. 21, 8, and 5 from Jaden Hardy. And now we're playing the Golden State Warriors, who have Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Pascal, Wiseman, Greg Brown. Definitely a very talented roster. Similar to game 1, we actually win it, so that's a good start. We're up 2-0. They even it up, or they're up 2-1, or they're down 2-1, and we're up 3-1 and 3-2. Come on. Let's go, baby. We beat them in 6 games. We're in the NBA Finals, bro. Cavaliers: Devontae Graham, Levine, Okoro, Kevin Love, Jarrett Allen, Garland, Jamin Brakefield, Larry Nance. All right, here we go. Playing the Cavaliers 1-0. Kevin Porter gets revenge on his former team for trading him. 3-0. Oh, 3-1. Okay. Come on, baby. And we beat them in 5, and we win a NBA championship with the Houston Rockets. 20 and 13 from Christian Wood is your Finals MVP. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. This was the roster we put together. Kevin Porter was absolutely phenomenal throughout the video as well. I really hope it works out for the Rockets. They took a flyer on the guy, and I think he could be really good for them. So if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. But for now, this is Crushables. I'm saying peace.